Impact Productions has cascaded into the monumental task of producing an outdoor whitetail video extravaganza that you won't want to miss. In bottlenecks and bedding areas, you'll share in the excitement as Jay Gregory and Don Kiske continue their physically demanding trek to harvest trophy whitetail. Your heart will sink along with Jay's on two unbelievable misses. Then, Jay redeems himself by harvesting a truly rewarding fine 8-point buck. One of the most unbelievable hunts ever captured on film again finds Don Kiske behind the bow. You'll be spellbound as Don stalks up on a magnificent buck while on his way to the stand for an evening hunt. Besides the two grandmasters, you'll also meet two newcomers that have exploded into the whitetail frenzy. Herb Schultz and Ron Smith are fast becoming leading bow hunters that are soon to be reckoned with. Herb and Ron captured true emotion and feelings on film after harvesting huge whitetail bucks. The cutting-edge technique that is mandatory for an impact production truly is employed in bottlenecks and bedding areas.
Hello and welcome. I'm Terry Drury with Drury Outdoors. It is truly a privilege and an honor to be a part of this production. Having been closely associated with the Impact production crew, I can sincerely say that their enthusiasm and dedication is refreshing. Their objective is to provide you, the viewer, with as much information and enjoyment as possible by sharing in their experiences. I hope you enjoy the action as much as I do. Here we find ourselves joining Ron Smith, one of the latest newcomers to the Impact production staff. Let's watch on this late October hunt. Ron knows that rattling in this pre-rut period can at times be very effective. Skirting a bottleneck such as the one Ron is located in is not uncommon for a mature buck. Wind direction plays a major part. After numerous attempts in several different locations, weeks later, Ron tries his luck in another funnel area. Now Ron elects to try the new buck stopper by Mad Calls. This will allow him to keep his hands free to draw at crucial times. Going undetected by the young ones, which are oftentimes the first ones stirring about, allows them to lay down a natural scent trail and can lead to an eventful evening. Less than an hour had passed when this young buck appeared. Notice Ron's stand placement is not over 100 yards from the adjacent field. The frequent activity reassures him that this bottleneck is the right spot. He also elects to try the Monster Buck Adjustable. By utilizing the Monster Buck Adjustable in conjunction with the buck stopper, Ron was able to lure this fine buck within bow range and then effectively stop him for a shot.
Yep, there's my arrow blood soak. Because of the shot placement on that deer last night, I elected not to make two mistakes and push him immediately. I decided to let him lay all night. And hopefully he expired at night and we'll find him here this morning. Second bed, place where this deer laid down. I was watching him off stand, and he laid down about 70 yards after I hit him, and then he got up and moved about 30 yards and laid down again. He laid here for a while, and there was some other deer that moved through this area, kind of a bottleneck area here. They moved through here, and he got up and went with them over to this next slough. I'm sure that's where we'll find him. Up the last couple drops of blood right back there. It's only about 100 yards from the last bed. It's got to be around there close. There he is! Yeah! Woo! Oh yeah! What a buck! What a buck! Nice 8-pointer. Real nice 8-pointer. Trying to get a fairly big rut neck on him. Rut kicking in full swing. Nice buck. I don't think he'll quite make book, but he'll be close. You know, electing to leave this deer all night really paid off. This deer was only about 200 yards from my stand, and he laid right down here and expired. I'm glad I left him all night long. I sure am glad I left him. Oh, nice. Well, I got pretty good access to this place. I think I'll pull a trick up in here and get him out of here.
Now we find ourselves teaming up with Herb Schultz. Herb also is a recent addition to the Impact production staff, as well as an experienced bowman who will try numerous innovative techniques to reel in a whitetail. Pay close attention as Herb capitalizes on the flexibility of his Monster Buck Adjustable by repositioning the O-ring to alter the tone. Now watch this young buck's reaction.
Well, that was interesting how that buck didn't really want to respond to the tending grunt of a mature buck. But when I adjusted the readout on this monster buck adjustable to the more of a doe bleed or a fawn bleed, it started out with a down low there for the tending grunt sound of a buck, mature buck. And he didn't hardly pay any attention. He kind of looked, but that was it. And then when I moved it out to the farther out here on the stem, it sounds a little higher pitched like a doe. And that little buck kept thumping right at her, but there was too much brush, I couldn't get a shot.
Herb tries his luck again the very next evening. Fortunately enough for Herb, this high rack buck is on a noticeable trail leading through a favorite bottleneck.
Yes. Whew. All right. There we go. Whoa. Yeah. Down here. Go check out the buck. I'm sure I heard him go down right over there. All right. Girl. It is blood soaked. Sure, I hit that buck good and hard. Yeah, looks like the blood leads off right up through here. Over there to Look, buddy. Yeah, there's blood. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like this blood here is definitely a good long hit. He stood right here, and I think he took up over the hill. He can't be far. Can't be far. Boy, he's leaking a lot of blood. Oh, he's good. Right there he is. Yahoo! Ha ha! Woo! Yeah. All right. Oh, what a nice little buck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pointer. All right. Good looking buck. A little bit of a rut neck on him right there. Yeah, it's just starting it. Yeah. You know, the key to me harvesting this buck this evening has been the position of my stand. There's a real thick bedding area just right up this draw here, and the deer are using this draw here, this kind of ridge, this shelf, moving down through this creek bottom to a cornfield. And it's late October, and the bucks are getting into what we call the chase phase of the rut cycle. The does have been coming out and feeding in the corn, and the bucks are hanging out in the timber just a little bit later and coming out of their bedding areas through this bottleneck and then down to the cornfields to check the does, chase them around to see if any of them are in estrus yet. And this is exactly what this little buck was doing, and I intercepted him in the bottleneck area. Well, see if I can't get him down to the edge of the pasture. I'll get to pick up and you load him up. Boy, what a fine buck, yeah. Right.
Watch this elusive buck's reaction as one swirling gust of wind in his direction finds way to his keen sense of smell.
Seriousness. That's the type of things right there that'll really cut down on your success. Try and hunt areas where there's not people cutting wood, running around on quad runners. That pretty much ruined our hunt for the morning.
Proficient archers don't give up easily. Jay's frustration hasn't kept him out of the timber. A delightfully sunny weather pattern has shed new light on Jay's outlook. He's hoping things will brighten up a bit. The monster buck adjustable is once again tested by an experienced hunter and once again proves to be extremely effective. Let's watch. A 20 to 25 yard quartering away shot such as this one are what bow hunters' dreams are made of. But anyone who has tried to draw and release at a moving target knows just how difficult this shot can be. This may have been a prime opportunity to try a new buck stopper by mad calls. The abrupt guttural sound may have stopped this fine whitetail just long enough for Jay to settle in for the shot. Fortunately, this deer was missed cleanly and goes completely unscathed.
Rush the shot.
Jay's confidence in his hunting area persuades him to persist. He's fully aware of the potential that this bottleneck can produce even after a miscue. Rattling and grunting near a known bedding area can at times be lethal, regardless of the time of year. Right now, Jay's heart is racing, just hoping that he will get another opportunity. He'll try to lure this buck through the bottleneck and into bow range with a series of grunts. Yes, unbelievable as it may seem, this deer also goes untouched.
That's what hunting the rut in a bedding area is all about. It's only 4:15 and I've already missed 2 bucks. This one down here, you know, both bucks coming right at my tree. You know, it's bad stand placement. I got my tree too good, coming right at me both times. This buck spooks, and he stopped and gave me a perfect quartering away angle, but I rushed the shot and shot over the top of him. And then the bigger buck heard me rattling to try and get this one to come back. He stands up here up the hill and is rubbing a tree, then he comes down, and I'll be darned if he doesn't walk straight at the tree. He gets right under the tree and I can't shoot, and then he gets all, I think he smelled where I crawled up the tree. He jumped over there, and it was really brushy, and I tried to slip my arrow through the brush because he was quartering away good, and I caught a limb. What can you say? It just happens sometimes. We still got lots of time. We'll get a chance at nothing. Well, I tell you what an exciting hunt. My stand is not in the right spot. I put my stand right here, and I'm exactly on the deer trail. I've got to take advantage of the mobility of this API. Go ahead and move it as soon as it gets dark. I've got to get it off the side of this ridge. I've got it right in the middle of this deer trail, and it's my mistake, and I paid for it tonight. So I've got to move this stand over here and try and get 20 yards off the trail. Maybe we'll have a different outcome next time.
After having relocated his stand slightly, Jay had to wait several days for just the right wind direction.
Tell you what I did this morning was I positioned my stand in a natural funnel. Got 2 big ridges on both sides of me, and this low area coming through here has always been a good spot for bucks to move through. And as you can see, one moved through her this morning, and I couldn't come into this spot earlier because the winds haven't been right, but the wind was finally right this morning, so I decided to come in and try it, and boy, it was great. He come right through the funnel like he was supposed to. He turned to go away from me, and I grunted. He come right down through here. Beautiful buck. Buck. Oh, boy, what great genetics he's got. It's perfect. Got nice long beams, nice long brow tine. Beautiful buck. Tell you what I did this morning was I got in a great funnel, one of my favorite funnels I hunt. The only problem with this spot is the wind direction. For our area, we don't get this wind very often, so I couldn't come in here and hunt until today. What I've got is 2 big blocks of timber. I got one over here, and I got one on this side, and this is a low thorny area in between, and these deer love to travel up this thorny area, just like he was doing this morning. Beautiful buck.
Jay's lengthy season is proof positive how persistence, fortitude, being aware of wind direction, and not being afraid to relocate your stand can pay off. But always keep in mind that hunting near a major bottleneck or a bedding area can turn a poor season into a successful one.